Welcome to Upgrade. I'm your host, Frank the Tank, and today we'll bring a measuring tape, but just not any ordinary measuring tape. It's a revolutionized measuring tape that actually is great for people like me that don't know a lot of good reading on some of the measurements and are rookies to this system. And actually, this is not a bad idea. And they do sell two different types. They sell the 30 feet and they have a 25 footer too. So they have two different prices. This was $7.99 and the other version was like $10, I believe it is. So not bad. I like the new. It's a whole different change to the old version. Still feels the same, but it acts a lot of different from its competitors. So we're gonna take a look at it and see what's the difference on this. Besides the actual look and the feel of it, it's pretty much, it has rubber ends now, more handling. It's not made of metal like the old-fashioned way. We're gonna compare it with the old ones too, but big difference on this. There's an actual lever button. It's a button. It's not actually like a lever that you bring down or anything. It's just a push button. And this automatically locks in when you keep it open. That's pretty much it. And the button is just to bring it back. Of course, the old one, there was an off and on kind of switch lever. And I'm going to show you guys the difference on it. Now, on this one, this is the great thing about it. Let me show you guys. Alright, so let me tell you the difference between this. Now, this one has all the actual inches, half an inches, 3/8, everything, 3/4, everything's included in details, especially for someone like me. So if a plumber calls you, what's the measurement on it, or a carpenter, and you're not really sure how to give them a good description, you can always come in here and figure out your math through here. It's not that bad. Now, the best thing about it is 25 foot, alright? But it's not over yet. There's more in here. Besides pushing the button and bringing it back in, it has two different lengths. If you see in the back and the top, it has two different grips from this side or this side. I like that because it could be different versions of a piece of wood that you have, or it could be a thinner end or a thicker end. So that's not a bad idea to have this. Now, the best thing about it, if you just open it up, it's basically you go in the back, and this is where the magic happens, and this is where you get more of the description and basic details of other items. So we're gonna continue on. If you see it, it goes into decimals, and it gives you all these measurements there in here, and it continues for quite a while. So measuring of the nails, what type of nails you're gonna require too, if you're not familiar with it. There's a freaking table scale here that gives you all the description. Common nails and per pound, if you can see that. And I'm not familiar with any of this stuff, but now that I'm going to be using this, I'm going to be getting a little bit more familiar. Wood screws, type of wood screws that you're going to require, that you want to know more about it. Sharpening chisels and plain iron. Look at that. You know how much you have to. Gives you a little physical information. Useful formulas. Look at this for your heights and weights and all that stuff. It's all in here. If you forget your math or you forget back to school, hey, there's a little description in here. A couple of things, inches, centimeters. You know the difference between quoting. Look at it, and it continues on with a bunch of different kind of information that you might require in the future. And I mean, this is the end pretty much, and the end would be probably 7 foot. So the end 7 feet, not that bad. 7 feet and 82 inches, 87 inches, 7 feet and 3/7/8. That's pretty much what you have in there. So that's not bad. All the math scales, everything in here. I'm gonna bring this thing back, and very smooth. It's not like, brings it very nice and smooth. New spring in here. It sounds funny, but this is an awesome little thing. And if you compare with the old one, the Stanley one, metal, this is the mechanism I'm working with, and you lock it in. That's pretty much it, locks in. But if you don't lock it in, it goes back and forth. That's pretty much it is. You know, you have to wait for it. If you want to wait for it, you lock it in, and that's how it locks in. The difference between this, you open it up, it doesn't come back until you push the button on here. So if you open it up and you open this one, it doesn't. See that? You actually physically have to go in here and actually lock it in. And doesn't have any scales in the bottom and the back, and sometimes it doesn't even lock in, you know, to begin with. You can just push it in some more and it goes automatically in. So these are two 25 footers, and this is actually cheaper than this one, and it has great measurements, and it feels a lot lighter too. And I like the rubber end. in case you drop it, a couple things and dinging and stuff like that. So I'm not gonna take care of this like a very valuable item, but it's a very useful for me, and it is valuable in the job sites. So if you have any questions or any comments, let me know. I'm your host, Frank the Tank, and we're out.